In this video, I'm going to be making a bar stool, and I've been putting off making this bar stool for a while. So right now I'm kind of excited about putting it all together. In order to get started, you would need a total of 4 2x4s and along with 2-inch Kreg Jig pocket hole screws. For tools, you would need an impact driver, a Kreg Jig, and a table saw. A circular saw is optional if you don't have a table saw. And also, I will leave all the links to all the tools and materials that I use to assemble this bar stool inside the description box right below this video. And I want to send out a special shout out to all my subscribers and my new subscribers. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, please smash that subscribe button and notification bell, and don't forget to give this video a like. Merci beaucoup. Now once you finish making all your cuts, everything should look like this. So what I did is I carefully labeled all the parts that you're gonna need to make your bar stool. So brothers and sisters, you won't have that much problem. All you have to do is just follow the instructions, and I guarantee you come out with the perfect bar stool. Now for you guys who just starting out, this is the Kreg Jig bit, and this is what you attach to the drill. And also this is the collar right here to drill your pocket holes, and this is the Kreg Jig tool. As you can see, it all depends upon the thickness of your material once you set it up on your Kreg Jig. Now this part of the jig will help you determine how deep the screws can go into the existing material on your Kreg Jig. So this is a depth collar right here. So what you want to do is you want to set that the tip of the bit on that 1 inch and 1/4 mark. Now you can go ahead and just set the bit at 1 inch and 1/4. And once you finish that, you can start tightening up the collar with an Allen key. Now grab your material. Now set the material on top of the Kreg Jig like this, and then make sure the material is clamped properly against the Kreg Jig. Take your time when performing this process. In other words, you might experience some difficulties. When that happens, just remove the material and then adjust the clamp. Put the material back on top of the Kreg Jig and then tighten up the clamp like this. In today's project, we're only going to be using this hole and this hole right here to drill in our pocket holes for the project. Now this vacuum holes part right here is optional. When I'm using the Kreg Jig, I often use the Kreg Jig clamps. The clamps are extremely useful and convenient. Also, brothers and sisters, it's very important that you keep a steady pace while using the Kreg Jig. Okay guys, I'm slowing it down again just to show you how everything should look like while drilling your pocket holes. Now you may not think it's a big deal to use pocket holes, but this opens up a big door of opportunity to other big and complex projects in the future. My word of advice, get yourself familiarized with pocket holes. Okay, I forgot. These are the type of screws that we're going to be using today. 2-inch Kreg Jig pocket hole screws. I've decided to start off by assembling the back of the bar stool first. And one of the reasons why is because of the fact that back was the hardest thing to put together for this project. I then took out my clamps in order to drill the screws home. And it's also helpful to keep your square ready to go to work so that all the corners are perfectly lined up and squared. Now let's see if all my sides are squared. Okay, this side is squared, this one is squared also, this one is good, and this one is good. It's great. Now I can just take out my clamps and then I can start drilling in my screws. Now like I said before, assembling the front is a whole lot easier than assembling the back. But as you can see, bam, I was able to do the front, and now I have the back and the front, so therefore I can start putting all the pieces together, drilling in my pocket holes one by one. The minute you make that bridge between the back and the front, keep in mind that at this point you have to be extremely acrobatic in order to position yourself to drill the screws home. It's really not that bad to position yourself while assembling the bar stool, but it takes careful maneuver by applying the screws first, then afterwards drilling them home. The interesting thing about making a bar stool is that I was able to take my skill to a different level. What may look easier to a few might be difficult to many. If you are planning to make this bar stool, one thing I highly recommend is a lot of patience and lots of effort. Whoops! Actually, two things that I would highly recommend instead of one. At this point, another set of hands would have been great, but my clamps did a great job. The bar stool is looking great. Now, if you're really excited about building this project, I have all the instructions on how to accomplish and building this great bar stool. And also, all that helpful information will be located right below this video, right inside the description box. I'm so excited because I'm 3/4 towards the completion of assembling the bar stool. At this point, I'm applying the glue to my seating section of the bar stool. Now, you can do so many things to this bar stool. You can stain, you can paint, whatever you decide to do, it will look great. I decided to have a modern look on mine. I didn't hide the pocket holes and I kept the sides round. Now, the seating section is hard to sit on, but what you can do, you can make your own cushion or buy one at your local big box store. At this point, I'm almost finished completing the bar stool. I took my time assembling the top part of the bar stool. I made sure to leave a few inches apart at the top to give the top some flexibility. I took out my Orbital sander and used a 120 grit sandpaper to carefully give the bar stool a smooth finish. And then I used Minwax clear coat on my bar stool. I applied 3 coats. After I applied the 3 coats of the Minwax, I then carefully gave it a sand down with a 220 grit sandpaper for a smooth finish. Now, that is totally optional, but if you want your bar stool to stand out from the rest, you will take my advice. Now, if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Better yet, smash that like button while you're sitting on your new bar stool. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, now that you moved into your dream house or apartment, you don't have to spend lots of money on furniture. You actually can make your own bar stool and have a couple of friends or family over for either lunch or brunch. I didn't spend a lot on making this bar stool. It was really affordable, and the lumber that I used was easy enough on my pockets. Mes amigos, care bar stool. This bar stool is really beautiful, and like I said, you can add a cushion to it, and also you can paint it whatever color that it all depends upon what you like. But anyway, brothers and sisters, thank you very much for welcoming me into your homes, and thank you very much for staying with me towards the end of this video. My name is Benoit Sherry. Peace out.